The text message glared at me from my phone like a knife in the dark. My friends and I are using your lake house this Sunday. Don't be weird jealous. My thumb hovered over the reply button, frozen. The words cut to the quiet hum of the late-night kitchen. This wasn't just a casual heads-up from Sarah. It was a provocation. A splinter lodged under my skin. The air felt heavy. Even the fridge's steady drone was deafening. I stared at the screen, my pulse hammering in my temples, each syllable dripping with a smugness I'd never heard from her before. My wife of 7 years, the woman who had once wept in my arms over a lost dream, was telling me not to get jealous about her weekend plans at my family's lake house. The audacity burned. I set the phone down on the counter. Its granite cold against my knuckles. The house was silent except for the faint creak of floorboards upstairs, where Sarah slept, or pretended to. My mind churned, replaying the last few months. Her late-night work calls, the unfamiliar perfume she started wearing, the way her laughter had sharpened, almost performative around friends. I'd ignored it, chalked it up to stress, to the grind of our 30s pulling us in different directions. But this message? It wasn't a crack in the facade. It was the whole damn wall crumbling. I poured a glass of whiskey, amber liquid catching the dim light above the sink. The burn down my throat did nothing to dull the ache in my chest. I wanted to storm upstairs, shake her awake, demand answers. Who were these friends? Why the lake house? Why now? But something heavier pinned me in place. Fear, maybe, of what she'd say, or worse, what she wouldn't. I sank into a leather chair, its surface creaking under me, and stared out the window at the moonless night. The darkness felt like a mirror, reflecting the void opening inside me. By morning, Sarah was all smiles, stirring cream into her coffee as if nothing had shifted. "You're up early," she said, light and casual, her hazel eyes flicking over me like I was a stranger. "Big plans today?" I gripped my mug, the ceramic warm in my palms. "Just work," I lied, studying her. Her hair was pulled back, a few strands loose around her face, and she wore the silk blouse I'd bought her last Christmas. She looked untouchable, beautiful. "You did mention the lake house last night," I said, keeping my voice even, though my heart thundered. "Who's going?" She didn't flinch, just stirred her coffee, spoon clinking softly. "Oh, just some girl from work. Lisa, Jen, maybe Claire. We need a break." Her smile was too perfect, rehearsed. "You don't mind, do you?" The question hung in the air like a challenge. I forced a nod, jaw tight. "Sounds fun." But my mind raced, piecing together fragments. Lisa, always too friendly at company parties. Jen, who barely came up anymore. Claire, who didn't even exist, at least as far as I knew. The lie stung worse than the truth might have. I couldn't focus that day. My office, usually a sanctuary with its tidy desk and city view, felt suffocating. I opened my laptop, hesitated, then typed her name into a search. Nothing unusual. LinkedIn, old trip photos. Then I checked her work calendar. Synced to our shared account. Blank for Sunday. No meetings. No girls' trip. Nothing. My stomach twisted. I told myself it was an oversight, a glitch, but doubt whispered relentlessly. By Friday, the unease had turned darker. I found myself checking her phone while she showered, steam seeping under the door like a warning. Her messages with Lisa were mundane, lunch plans, work gossip, but there was a new contact, Mark work. The thread was short, cryptic. Sunday set. "Can't wait." "Me neither. Don't tell anyone." My hands shook as I set the phone down. The name Mark didn't matter, just the betrayal it represented. I didn't confront her. I drove to the lake house Saturday night, headlights slicing through the dark, anger and grief blurring together. The cabin, sitting at the edge of the glassy lake, gleamed silver under the moonlight. My family had owned it for decades, a place of bonfires and summer laughter. Now it felt like enemy territory. I parked a mile away, hidden in the pines, and waited. The air was crisp, scented with damp earth and cedar. Every rustle set my nerves on edge, my imagination conjuring Sarah's laughter, someone else's hands on her. Sunday morning, a black SUV pulled up. Sarah stepped out, her hair catching the sunlight, followed by a man I didn't recognize, tall, broad-shouldered, radiating a confidence that made my fists clench. Not Lisa, not Jen, definitely not Claire. They carried bags inside, voices muffled, intimate, as if this wasn't the first time. I crept closer, grass damp under my boots, breath shallow. Through the window, I watched them. Sarah's hand rested on his arm, his head tilted toward her. Too close. My chest tightened, fury and grief colliding. I could have screamed, thrown punches, revealed myself, but I didn't. I stayed frozen, watching them laugh over wine, their shadows merging on the wall. My phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. Miss you. Work's crazy, but I'll be home soon. The lie struck harder than seeing them together. I drove home, tears blurring the road. Back in our kitchen, I waited. Monday morning. Sarah walked in, flushed, glowing, a side of her I hadn't seen in years. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I set my phone on the counter, her text to Mark open. Her eyes widened, then hardened. You spied on me? She spat, voice sharp, defiant. Who's Mark? I asked, voice low, trembling under the weight of everything I'd lost. She didn't answer. Grabbed her keys. Left. Door slammed, echoing through the empty house. I sat, staring at the lake house key on the counter, edges worn from years of trust. Now it was just a relic of a life that no longer existed. Then a cold thought struck. The lake house had a security camera I'd installed last summer. I hadn't checked it. Hands shaking. I opened the app. Footage loaded. There they were, Sarah and Mark, not just laughing, but plotting. Her voice crisp through the audio. He'll never know. We can keep this going. Betrayal wasn't just a moment. It was a future they were building behind my back. Then Mark's smug voice. Once we sell the lake house, we're set. My vision blurred, not with tears, but clarity. Sarah thought she'd outsmarted me. She didn't know I'd already changed the locks. Lake house, accounts, everything. She betrayed me, but I wasn't the fool. The game wasn't over.